It's just like y equals mx plus b. That is a line, right? That's the equation of a line. Y equals x squared. What kind of graph does that give you? Anybody know? X squared graph? What kind of graph is that?
It gives you a parabola.
Circle graph.
A parabola. It gives you a parabola. Okay? This equation right here will give you a circle when you graph it. So, here's what's easy about it. The h and the k are the center point. What do you think the r is? If it's a circle. Yeah. R is the radius. H and K is the center point, R is the radius. And then just like when you have an equation of a line, y equals mx plus b, when you write the equation, you just leave the y and the x in there, right? And you find the other numbers. That's what you do here too. You leave the y and the x, and you find the other numbers. And we're going to practice that right now. Yeah.
Why are there two centers?
There's not two centers. This is the center point. HK is the center, the coordinates of the point.
Oh, I thought you said H and K are center.
No. Okay? All right. So in the past, you have worked with the distance formula. So I want to refresh your memory on that. Write it down here. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And then you take the square root of all of that. So if you were on a coordinate plane and you had 2 points, you could find how far it is in between them anytime using the distance formula. So here we have 2 points, so I'm going to label it the first point, x1, y1, the second point, x2, y2. And then I just plug whatever I have to into there, and I'm going to find out how far apart those points are on the coordinate plane. So I want you to do it for 1 and 3. This is a warm-up, so give it a try. You've done the distance formula before. It's not new. May have. So that was more just a practice of remembering what happens when you have minus a negative and minus a negative. What happens? It becomes a what?
Plus.
Plus. Okay. All right. So you're going to do a few different things here. Write the equation. Write an equation of the circle. So let's just write this down because this is the general form that we're working with. I know it's right above there, but it's good to see it right there again. What you do first is identify the center. So in this circle, this is the center right here. And what are the coordinates of the center? Now remember, where is that in this equation? What letters?
H and K.
H and K, so I'm going to write it right underneath. Second, what is the radius measure? Because we need H, K, and R to write the equation. Yeah, so I just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. R equals 5. That's all I need to write the equation. So then third, plug into equation. Plug into the equation. So, x minus h, which is 0, squared, plus y minus k, which is 0, squared, equals 5 squared. And then I just make it pretty. Normally, would you write minus 0? No, you just write x. So this we'll just write as x squared plus y squared equals 5 squared, which is 25. And that's your final answer. That's all you got to do. Write the equation of the circle. That's the equation of that circle. Easy enough? Okay, turn it over. All right, so here you were given the picture and you had to write the equation. Here you're given the center and the radius, which is really pretty easy, and you have to write the equation. So again, I'm working with this. So I'm going to write it up here, just so I know what I'm working with. The center is 3, negative 2. That is my h and my k, and this is my r. Those are the three things I need to write the equation of the circle. So I'm going to plug in what I have. X minus 3 squared plus y minus a negative 2 squared equals 5 squared. What happens here? Yeah, so we're going to change that to make it an addition. I stuck a negative in, which is going to cause this to be a plus. X minus 3 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 25. And that's your final answer right there. That's the equation of the circle. No, nothing else. Just write the standard equation of the circle, and that's all you have to do. There's nothing else you can do with that right now.
Yeah, I kept going. Like, I went ahead a little bit and just kept going.
No, that's it.
Until I got x squared plus y squared equals.
It would be ugly if you keep going. That would go. It's as far as you could, because you'd have to FOIL this, and you'd have to FOIL that, and there still isn't anywhere you could go because you have an x and a y. There's nothing you can do with it. So, all right, let's do this one. H, K, and R. So let's just plug it in. X minus a negative 4 squared, y minus a negative 6 squared equals 3 squared. And then all you do is just make it pretty. Oops, that's 9. And that's it. Now here's what I want you to see about these. I'll wait till everybody's done writing. The general form is a minus, correct? So if you're given an equation with a plus in it, that means what had to be plugged into it? A negative 6. So if you're given an equation with a plus 4, what had to be plugged in it? What is h? Negative 4. Are you following me on that? That's why I wrote it out like this, so you can see that negative 4 went in, that became a plus. Same with down here, when you're given an equation and you have to graph it. So, graph the given equation of the circle. In order to do that, I need HK and I need R. So right above here, just to help me out here, this is H. I'm writing the equation. You might not need to. Okay. So, what is my H? I'm pulling it right out of here. What is my H? 2. It's not negative because the general form starts as a minus. So it was a positive 2 that went in there. So 2. Yep. And in order for that to become a plus, K had to be a negative 3. Okay? And then the radius, yeah, you just take the square root of that to get your R. Take the square root, and that's 4. So now we graph it. So graph the center point. You go over 2, down 3. There's the center point. And then we know the radius, so we just go 4 over from the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can go up 4. We can go left 4 because it's the radius, and down 4. And then you try and draw a halfway decent circle around there. So sometimes it doesn't look so good. But there you go. Okay, not too bad, huh? Let's do one more. So it says graph the given equation of the circle. So I need H and I need K. Look at here. There's nothing being subtracted from X, so that means H had to be what? 0. H has to be 0. H has to be 0. Do you see it? What is K? 1. K is 1. So the center is 0, 1.
R is 3.
And then R, you just take the square root of that. So r equals 3. So over 0, up 1, over 3 all the way around as the radius, and then you just kind of try and make it pretty. That one's a little yucky. Looks like a lemon.
This is like really nice.
Okay, so that's not too bad. So then we just have one more thing, and this is really the same idea that you've been doing. It says describe the graph of this equation. So all I really want you to do here is identify the center and the radius. So identify the center and the radius. So remember, the center is HK. H is with the X, K is with the Y. So what is H? Careful. Yes, you had to put a negative in to end up with a plus here, like up here, see? Basically, it's always opposite. Yep. H is -5, K is what?
+3.
Correct.
Why do the opposite?
Okay, and then the radius is the square root of 4, which is 2. You do this one. Okay? Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah.
Not bad, huh? So you're going to practice all